Good evening and welcome to Omnibroslive. It's just me, Omnidog, here to entertain you until the others show up. Thank you to the people in the chat so far. Aiku, Fantastic Four Novels, T2, David Cobb, Dana Jester, Jesse Saywhat being strangely absent. Shifty Shifts here waiting for Jess to slide in like Kramer. They're watching all my episodes like Seinfeld. Thank you very much for that. The collector. There's Jesse Saywhat. Taylor Brown. Hey, yo. What's up? Bruce Johannes. Justin Page. Good. We're getting a lot of people in the chat. And tonight we're going to be talking about probably not hauls and reads. We definitely are going to be doing previews. We're going to be covering the second half of Daredevil by Brian Michael Bendis, Volume 1. That's definite. I don't think we're going to have time to do hauls and reads. I'm doing fine, Eduardo. Thank you very much. I had no idea I was in the target zone of elderly for this coronavirus. It makes me feel awful. But so far, I'm safe and sound. Everything's okay. Yeah, my co-hosts are practicing social distancing. They're not coming on. So we have 30 people in the chat. That's probably enough for me to talk about InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions up to 50%. No, you know what? I forgot to send the link. That's why they're not here. Darn it, I did that before. I'm just going to be vamping for the rest of my life here if I don't remember to send that link. Okay, there, they have the link now. Now they'll be showing up. Okay, it's StockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts add 2% to that. There's always an Omnibros discount code every quarter. IST also gives us a $50 gift card to give away at the end of every month, which is darn nice of them. Order $50 or more in an order in the United States from InStock Trades, you get free shipping. Fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com. Okay, so there you go. Let's see if they're coming. Yeah, that was the issue. Okay, they'll be here. So I'll answer. We will be doing more shelfies, I think, on Sunday. Tonight we're going to be doing Daredevil and previews. We're going to be doing more shelfies. I think that might be a Sunday thing, but we've gotten an awful lot of shelfies from people. Lots of people have sent in their shelfies, and it's been great. So that is going to be a brand new part of the show. We've got enough shelfies to last us 6 months. It's been great. I haven't watched part 1. Should I be here? Yeah, you're fine, Musan. It's not an issue. Oh, here's a good question for Taylor Brown and myself. I just finished Gotham Central. Jess, is Daredevil a better crime story or Gotham Central? What would you say? Taylor Brown can weigh in here too. I loved Gotham Central, mostly as a police procedural without the bat at all. So as a crime story, I feel like Gotham Central is a little stronger. That's just my opinion. But so far, Daredevil Bendis Omni is great. I'm really enjoying it. I'm halfway through the second volume. and I'm enjoying it a lot. Okay. Sorry I didn't send mine. I kept trying to get pics of my shelves, but everyone turned into a Brandon Sanderson shelf. Boy, you love that author, don't you, David? Yeah, that's exactly right. Oh, here's Eduardo. That's a nice thing. Nice. Glad to hear it. Today I let some old folks be first in my supermarket because of your video. Felt really good. Well, good. That's awesome. I'm so glad. Here's Gabe.
What up, Jess? Made it in.
What up?
What up, everybody?
Can't hear you.
No? Shit. Do I have everything? I don't think I have anything plugged in. All right, is that better? No? Bitch. Hi, Jess.
Yeah, no. Nothing's happening.
All right, I'll be back.
Okay. Gabe's going to sign back in a minute. Oh, you heard Gabe? You can hear him. What's going on? Wonder why I couldn't. Oh, you could hear him, but I couldn't. Okay, well, let's see when he signs back on. Okay, everybody heard him but me. Okay. Well, that's the way it goes. So, lots of books for sale this week on previews. We're going to be talking about them. We're going to be talking about Daredevil and Bendis. Is it N-Man 40's asking if the video is a little laggy? You'll have to ask the rest of the chat. There is an echo a bit when you talk as well. I don't know what to tell you about that. Hey, Jake, how's it going? It's laggy for guitars and comics. No echo. That is, I don't know what to tell you. For the record, the Bloodshot movie was awesome. Shame the theaters are closing now. Well, that's too bad. No, my speakers are on right now. Chat Omnidog, thank you. My volume's not muted. Okay, let's give this another shot.
What up?
Okay, now I hear you.
Now you can hear me. Hi, everybody. Hi. How you doing, Jess?
Everybody could hear you but me, so I'm sure it was my fault. So everything's cool.
That tracks. That tracks about right.
Well, now I can't hear you that well.
Okay, because I switched mics around. So let me switch mics around again. Probably because that mic's a little too. Okay, I need to get one where it's closer. How's that?
Nice, sound good.
Better. All right, because now it's this mic. That way I can go. Hey, don't tell anybody that. Don't tell Jess's wife that he bought all kinds of stuff today.
Exactly.
Just bought all the Arrowhead water, but he refused to buy Dasani, and Dasani better.
I didn't even buy any water, but I noticed that Dasani was the water that was left there, and I was thinking, why is Dasani water What's wrong with it? I mean, it's water. How can everybody picked over everything and they left the Dasani? There was like cases of it left.
Back in the day when I had roommates, we once went to Smith's and they had like cases of Dasani for like $3. And we must have bought like 40 cases of water. Like we just made thrones in our living room of just cases of water. It was great. That's all we did was buy cases of water and drink a lot of alcohol. Those were the times. Those were the good times. Yes, sir. So what's up, Jess? How you been?
Good. Everything's going okay so far.
Is it just the Gabe and Jess show today?
I guess so. Yeah, Gio said he didn't read Daredevil, so he's going to show up halfway through for previews.
Okay. Is he in the chat? Is he at least watching? Are we getting that view? Are we getting a thumbs up? Thumbs up, everybody. Welcome to Omnibros Live.
I don't see him.
All right. So we're not going to do any hauls today because I can't really show you the 30 pounds of meat I went out and panic bought today. Or the new refrigerator I had to buy because mine's been crapping out on me for the last 3 months. So I had to just take it out and buy a new fridge. That sucked. That sucked hard. Anyways, you want to just jump right into it, Jess, and get into some Daredevil? Because we owe people Daredevil. People were getting mad that we didn't talk about Daredevil yesterday.
Right.
Not really mad, but I'm sure people were like, I came here expecting to be able to join along in the discussion of Daredevil, and it was really just Gabe fumbling through pictures for a half an hour. I couldn't figure out how to make that picture thing happen yesterday. But with that said, I'm still getting more emails of collections.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we'll be doing that segment every Sunday for a while.
That's great.
So OmniBroslive at gmail.com if you want to have your collection spotlighted on one of our future episodes.
Yeah, there it is.
And I'm very happy that I haven't had any dick pics yet. I probably just jinxed myself.
Yeah, you totally did.
Yeah. Now I'm going to feel like an Instagram model.
How do we want to? We should just do like sort of an overview. We finished on what, issue 46?
Issue 46, yes, sir.
Typhoid Mary's appearance.
Typhoid Mary returns in a hot, just wearing nothing but a belt and leather jacket.
Yeah,
I'm good with that. I am good with that. So yeah, this is actually it's Typhoid Mary who is just trying to live a normal life until Kingpin comes and slaps her around a little bit and brings her back into her crazy persona, where she shows up and sets Matt Murdock on fire in front of his brand new wife.
Right.
You might have to help me along here a little bit, Jess. I'm trying to remember what happened here.
Oh yeah. Well,
this is the good. Is this is the good stuff right here? Yeah, I think this is the stuff where.
Here's Quarantine Guide 101. Where'd you get that thing?
CDC. We're living in the Mad Max apocalypse, so I'm just doing my best right now.
You got it from CGC?
Oh, yes.
He's got his Bane persona going on.
Yeah, very Bane-ish.
Thank you. Better safe than sorry. This thing really sucks to breathe in.
Well, it's better than having to breathe in all my farts.
No.
Which do happen through TCP over IP.
What are you guys talking about?
Typhoid Mary and her hot naked body.
Ah, yeah. We've all dated a Typhoid Mary.
She sets Matt on fire in front of his girlfriend or wife, and then Kingpin looks like he's trying to take his territory back over. So Jessica Jones beats on Typhoid Mary, recovers, and they beat the crap out of Typhoid Mary. Eventually, after she's done damage, and Matt has been shot, stabbed, burnt, and is now trying to recover in a room when the agent comes to visit him. That's all, like right here.
It's also when Kingpin shows up, who is now trying to take over the territory again, like you said, and is taking mutant MGH, mutant growth hormone, off the street too. But at the same time, we get the return of this bad boy.
Yeah, I remember reading that with like that page where Bullseye finally shows back up, and you're like, oh, fine, it's going down, because Bullseye shows up in the first few issues. Like he teases him in the first few issues, but it takes forever to get to him.
Well, it was Bendis and Kevin Smith, I guess, had an agreement that since Kevin Smith wrote the storyline where, spoilers, Bullseye kills Karen Page, it's only appropriate if Kevin Smith writes the revenge issue. But Kevin Smith being Kevin Smith, he wrote one issue of that Bullseye Target, and that was it. I haven't read it in a while. I don't know if it's collected in anything or not, but that was a great issue, I remember, and we never got anything out of it. So this is issue 46. So this is already about a year and a half or more into Bendis' run, and they were just like, forget it. Kevin Smith's not going to do it. It's time for Bendis to do. Boom. The revenge story.
Issue 49,
Issue 49.
And it's pretty much everything that the story's been building up to is leading to this moment. And that's my mom.
What was that?
Someone's mother.
It was my mom calling.
Oh.
Yeah, everything was building up to pretty much this issue, like all the different conflicts and stuff like that Bendis has been balancing, because it's actually kind of a really nice plate balance that he's doing. He's got a bunch of stuff in the air.
Yeah, and the whole fight, the whole revenge, the whole Daredevil taking on Bullseye. For some reason, I remembered it being a longer storyline, like an actual arc. It's one issue.
It's quick.
It's one issue. It's basically 85% of it is just them fighting, which is kind of what you want out of this kind of revenge story. But I thought it was going to be a longer issue, and this is also where Daredevil carves the bullseye into Bullseye's forehead, making that a permanent thing, as opposed to, I think it was just, I don't know if it was a tattoo or if it was a rub-on tattoo. Yeah.
Well, that was in the movie. So was this at the same time that the movie came out? They were probably trying to ape the movie?
Yeah, okay. This was after the movie for sure. Yeah, it's the same thing. He has the shaved head. He's got the carved in bullseye or target.
Not a bad movie, by the way. The director's cut's actually not bad.
That's a good movie. I mean, outside of the playground scene and things like that, it's actually a fun movie.
Yeah, if you're gonna watch it, watch the director's cut. It's pretty good.
And that brings us to the big issue 50 here.
Oh man, that cover is so iconic at this point.
Oh, with him on the throne? Yeah, that was me on Out at the Dasani Water back in the day.
Yeah.
And this is where Kingpin is just knocking everybody off. He's killing everybody who took over parts of his territory, and he's just making himself known. And you get this one guy who's like, oh, no, I'm going to stick up for myself. I'm going to stand up to Kingpin. And just makes the biggest mistake of his life, because that's when Kingpin goes, hey, I have your wife and your daughter ready to be raped and murdered right now.
And he just ordered it.
Yeah.
But
this
then,
is also. But then.
This is my favorite moment out of this whole run. This is my favorite moment.
I have to agree. I had heard about this moment for years, and I've always been wanting to read it. I really wanted to read this. It's legendary, even though it has some kind of weird, janky art right in the middle, which I didn't understand, but it does seem to come back.
It's the 50th issue, so it's Gail. It's everybody who was a big player with Daredevil got a chance to do
Right.
a page.
Okay.
You got Gil Kane, you got John Romita Senior in here. You got Joe Quesada. Not a page. You got like a panel.
Some better than others.
Michael Avon Omin.
Mm-hmm.
Now that it's explained to me, I understand.
Yeah.
But this is like the most savage beatdown of Daredevil. I mean, ever. And the fury with which I don't know that I've ever read Daredevil react with such fury on Bullseye and on Kingpin. I mean, his anger is just through the roof.
Yeah.
And he proclaimed himself Kingpin.
And you have to also remember that Daredevil still, or Matt Murdock has been outed as Daredevil. That is still an ongoing situation that he's trying not to let people know that he is Daredevil, but he is showing up at this bar warehouse and just fucks Kingpin up in front of everybody.
He drives him through the building.
And the thing is, and he takes his mask off and reveals himself in front of everybody, going, "Hey, I'm the new Kingpin. If you want to sell drugs, if you want to whore, if you want to do any of this criminal stuff, don't do it in my city. Hell's Kitchen is now my city. And you're going to want to remember this female in the background who does show up later." I mean, this is one of the good things about Bendis' run is that he does touch back onto this scene later. And you go, oh, my God, this is an actual, like, a legitimate person. It happens on later on in volume 2.
Yeah.
In this great story that we'll get to later about, that really shows Hell's Kitchen as like a living, breathing character in Daredevil's life, and that female is a part of it.
I love what follows next, which is they basically commentate and say this most savage war on crime in the state of like New York that has ever been seen, and like a bunch of other people. Eventually, a bunch of characters show up, and they're like, "Dude, you need to tone it down."
Luke Cage, Spider-Man, Iron Fist.
They're like, you okay, man? Like, you really need to tone it down.
And then this is the gap right here also. So it goes from 50, we jump over into 56.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
51 through 55 was that David Mack story that we had a hard time trying to figure out which one it was.
Okay.
That's when that happens. That helps cover this year time jump that we have starting here in 56. So in 56, it's a year later, you get the scene with Ben Urich talking to somebody that's kind of typical Bendis style. Something happens in one issue. He spends the next issue talking about what happened in that last issue. It's like being in a meeting where we talked about the meeting we just had. That could have just been an email. So they explain again over, kind of catches you back up if you kind of lost track of what was going on because of the David Mack storyline. Daredevil's been Kingpin for a year. He's cleaned up the city. This is when him and Mila are married. Now they've been married for a year. They secretly got married. All that kind of stuff is what this issue is about. There's another scene of all your favorite superheroes showing up in just normal street clothes. You get Luke Cage, you get Reed Richards, but you don't get them you get Doctor Strange, but they're not doing superhero-y fun stuff. They're just in this park giving Matt Murdock a piece of their mind, and Matt Murdock is just getting in their face as well. So that's all good and fun as expected for this story. Matt still being surveillanced by the FBI, and you get one of the coolest scenes of the book of all time is when the Yakuza show up and they face down Matt Murdock in the middle of the street.
Right.
David Cott, dude, you haven't read Spiraling Down yet. At least there are moments of levity in Bendis' run. Brubaker just kicks him in the balls repeatedly for like 40 issues.
I'm in the middle of Brubaker stuff right now, and it's a different take on Daredevil for sure. But man, this is really, because they even talk about it. This is when he has like a nervous breakdown. They all suspect that Matt has a nervous breakdown, and you know, the Bronze Tiger storyline at the very end, with the court scene at the very end, kind of gets repeated again later. That we'll talk about later as well. And then I love this cover, Matt with the sword, and this really cool kind of Frank Miller-esque negative space art here. Oh, that's great stuff from Alex Maleev. And this is a big throwdown with the Yakuza in the middle of the street. They got the FBI watching him. And you're just still going, how is Matt able to just kind of slide under the radar? He's in the middle of the street just whooping ass on like 30 ninjas.
Yep.
And just again, the FBI just sitting there in their little van. Obviously, you know, who else is going to have a giant satellite dish on top of their van? I never understood that. He actually beat somebody's ass with the antenna off of a car, too. That's always awesome.
Yeah.
So it's a big Yakuza fight here that ends in the SWAT team showing up. The Yakuza gets arrested, or whoever's left of them. And again, Matt just slides under the radar. And again, you get Ben Urich, who's explaining everything. You don't know who he's talking to, and you realize he's talking to the new Miss Murdoch.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the whole next issue is about, is just a story of their relationship and everything, and the Yakuza talking their way out of going to jail, which is always interesting. So this is the big Yakuza story arc. You get some Night Nurse action here as well, because Matt is fucked up after that fight.
Yeah, they've messed him up real bad.
Oh yeah, dude, he got shanked and all kinds of crazy stuff going on there. You get the FBI who's been following Matt Murdock. They get murked. You get the introduction of a new FBI agent who becomes a big deal later on in the stories as well. Matt's recovering. Trying to figure out what else is going on. Do you remember this part anymore, Jess? You want to speak on?
I just remembered that he's recovering, and then the Yakuza in issue 59, they sort of they discuss his nervous breakdown, and then after that, the Yakuza has sort of regrouped and is in a I don't know, an apartment or someplace, and the head guy is saying what a bunch of wimps you are, and he's got them all together, and then comes this page where they say we almost had Murdoch, and then he says almost doesn't count, and it's Iron Fist and Luke Cage and Spider-Man all busting in on the Yakuza to wipe them out.
Yeah. It's great to see Bendis right. I think this is the first time Bendis wrote Spider-Man in the 616, maybe? I don't know. Because he's doing Ultimate Spider-Man at this point, too.
Which, God, Ultimate Spider-Man is so good.
Just is finding that out, I'm sure.
What's that now?
How good Ultimate Spider-Man is?
Yeah, I just started it.
Ben Hamill in the chat. Yeah, MGH shows up a lot in Bendis's run.
Mm-hmm.
There's a story later with the return of that one old time gangster, and 90-year-old man taking MGH, just busting stuff up too. We'll get into that.
I swear, I think that's a Morrison concept. I keep thinking that it's from his new X-Men run.
Yeah, and MGH showed up here in the Yakuza fight as well. I mean, of course, they're taking it.
Yeah, and then it just sort of ends with his facing up to the possibility that he has had a nervous breakdown over the death of Karen Page.
Yeah, or the death of everybody, unfortunately. I mean, every woman he's ever loved, anybody who's ever loved, that's died in his arms. His father, Elektra, Karen Page. I mean,
Yeah.
it just the hits just keep happening. And this is
Well,
the
it
part where Mila goes, I can't deal with this anymore. I don't know if you really love me or if I'm just kind of like this weird rebound / mental breakdown rebound that you have going on, and just goes, I want a divorce, and just dips.
What I find really interesting about this is just how much Wade pulls from this particular time period in his run, because this character, kind of spoiler, does eventually show up in Wade's run in some capacity, and it's actually kind of heartbreaking when you see it.
Mila does, yeah. I haven't read all the Wade stuff.
Oh, you didn't read all the Wade stuff?
I haven't read all of it. No,
Oh man.
The Doctor Doom storyline is when I kind of not fell off on purpose, but that's when I kind of stopped reading singles.
You're still early on then.
When he I don't know. I don't want to spoil anything. The Latveria stuff.
Yeah, dude, you're really early on. It gets so much better.
But yeah, and that's it. I mean, besides that, this omnibus has great backup features in it. You get an afterword from Mark Steven Johnson, who was the director of the Daredevil movie and the director of the Ghost Rider movies. You get some David Mack preliminary sketches and breakdowns on his pages as well. You get some scripts in here, which is just super wordy because it's Bendis.
Mm-hmm.
You get a Brian Michael Bendis afterward. So, I mean, all in all, this is by far an Alex Maleev sketchbook. Just one of the biggest, best Daredevil runs to date. It definitely rivals Frank Miller's stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love this. Just seeing Alex Maleev, how he takes the scripts and you see where he's kind of doodling his ideas and stuff like that, or doing breakdowns on the actual scripts themselves. That's always interesting stuff. Cover breakdowns on here, unused covers. I mean, just some beautiful pieces of artwork from Elektra and Typhoid Mary. Just great stuff on here. Great omnibus all the way around. Great story all the way around. And then, this is when you hear about, that's a David Mack thing. Issue 50, how they got all the different artists to pitch in and do panels to kind of just commemorate their time with Daredevil. So,
so what would you rate this sucker out of 10? I'm gonna say 9, only because I know what the back half of this run is, and it gets so much better.
Wow. Okay, I'll go with that.
I'm gonna give it a 10, 100%.
Cool.
I couldn't find a single negative thing on this storyline. I mean, you do kind of have the bit of the Bendis effect of the how he decompresses the story, how he spends time in one issue talking about the last issue, but it actually is back then when you're reading it in singles, it was very helpful.
Yeah.
Later on, it gets a little out of control and a little out of whack and a little too much, but it works perfect for these kind of ground level characters. There's a lot of kind of moving pieces and moving characters that you forget this person is involved, that person is involved, and how and why. Yeah. So definitely 10.
I just because I know what the back half is. I agree with you. It's fantastic. It's easily one of the best runs of that time period, and still to this day. And this was Bendis firing on all cylinders. But yeah, I just know what the back half of that run is and what it eventually leads into, which is the Brubaker stuff. And just my 2 cents. It's nothing against Bendis. I love the Brubaker stuff just a little bit more than the Bendis stuff, just a bit. But the thing is, Brubaker couldn't have done what he did without Bendis setting him up. And Bendis does set him up. Jess, you haven't gotten there yet, so I'm not going to ruin it.
No.
But eventually, something happens, and it sets up one of my favorite Punisher moments of all time.
Yes.
It's hilarious.
Yes. Always good stuff. When you get Punisher and Daredevil together, it's the worst idea, but the best ideas.
Where's Punisher? Oh, he's well, Gabe.
The only thing I don't like about this storyline so far is that we get zero introduction or any real connection with Mila. Like, you're supposed to feel bad for her because you're assuming Matt's breakdown and Matt's whatever troubles he's got going on, he's manipulating and he's using Mila. but you don't feel bad for her because you don't
Yeah.
haven't developed any kind of real connection to her, and you really don't get much of her story until like later on in the Brubaker run.
Mm.
Yeah.
You get a little bit about her.
Brubaker fleshes her out a whole lot more than Bendis does. And I think that's just kind of the nature of what Bendis was writing. Bendis was really focusing a lot more on the crime aspect and setting up all these different pieces and stuff like that, which once again, Brubaker really has the advantage that Bendis set up all this awesome stuff for him to play with, despite the fact that he leaves him in a real tough spot to write himself out of. But, you know, he's got Mila, he's got the marriage, he's got Matt being outed, he's got all this other stuff that he can pull from, and he runs with it in such a great way.
This is such an important run because Matt being outed is still, I don't know about now, but I know it was felt, like you said, during Mark Waid's run. A lot of it was him. There's a part where he goes to a costume party dressed as Daredevil, wearing a shirt that says, "I'm not Daredevil." Like, it's just cocky, arrogant, psychodramatic Matt Murdock. But this is a turning point in Daredevil's history that will always be felt. There's always going to be that. I don't know about always. I'm not reading the current stuff. I don't know if it's still there. But for the longest time, it's always there that it's well known that Murdock is Daredevil, or is he? It's always that question.
Now, did they do away with that in Souls Run? Was it Souls Run that they kind of reversed it, or and is the Zdarsky stuff?
I don't know. I don't know. Did they ever put that genie back in the bottle? Did that ever happen? I don't know.
I thought I had heard that during the Soul Run, like something happens that they put it back in the bottle, and I don't know if Zdarsky open. I'm not sure. I need to read the Soul stuff. I haven't read Daredevil since
Taylor Brown says Soul does reverse it.
Okay, I haven't read Daredevil since the Wade days.
Now I need to read that. I want to see how they put that genie back in the bottle.
Mm-hmm. I heard the Soul stuff really isn't that bad. I mean, it helps that Soul's also a real lawyer in real life. So
he's a different type of lawyer.
Yeah,
he's a immigration lawyer.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So him doing the crime stuff, it's like somebody asking Jess about the S&P market when he just does local bank trading.
Okay.
Totally different.
That's
yeah.
fine.
I'm going to keep moving on. I'm going to keep moving on with Bendis Volume 2. I'm already halfway through. I'm almost done with the first omnibus for Brubaker Volume 1. I'm going to move on to Volume 2 with that. I'm going to be stuck in a Daredevil hole for a while.
Nice.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm going to check out Souls Run tonight. I'm going to sit down with that and start it tonight, see how it is. If I don't like it, I'll just jump right into Zdarsky.
I heard Zdarsky stuff is pretty good too.
That's what I've heard. It's crazy when you look at Zdarsky's evolution of a career. He started off as Matt Fraction's artist on Sex Criminals, and now he's interesting. He had his own con, and he's kind of come to into his own as a writer over the last few years.
Yeah, really has.
Yeah, which kind of makes me wonder who was the real better writer on that Sex Criminals book.
Or I like what David Codd says in the chat. It's interesting how Daredevil's been so good for like 20 years consecutively, minus Shadowland.
Holy shit, I just realized that. Fraction's, nothing against Fraction, but Fraction's best stuff is with another writer kind of backing him up.
How was it? What about Invincible Iron Man? Wasn't that supposed to be spectacular? Or even Hawkeye? Hawkeye's supposed to be really good, right?
Hawkeye was his best thing by himself. But even not, I didn't care for the Kate Bishop stuff. I thought she was annoying.
Oh, I see that look on Jess's face.
I thought she was annoying. I didn't care for it. I'm sorry.
Might as well just tell Jess root beer is not a good drink.
That would be a fucking lie, because it's just.
Should we get to previews now?
Yeah, let me pull it up real quick.
Okay.
I don't watch wrestling very much. Like I haven't watched wrestling in probably like 15, 20 years, but it was on TV the other day and there was nobody in the audience.
Well, dude, I'm a huge wrestling nut. Yeah, the whole reason why there was nobody in the audience was because of the whole Corona thing. So they've been doing house shows right here in Orlando at the Performance Center, and they just haven't been letting anybody in, and they were just doing a wrestling show.
It's a different vibe. Sure, because I'm sure a lot of that is based on, I'm sure a lot of their enthusiasm is based on crowd feedback. It's like a comedian or anybody else that performs in a crowd. Even us, it's different if there's nobody here.
Yeah, and David Codd, we don't have any clue what's going on with WrestleMania. They haven't said anything, but look, Vince McMahon let a man die in the ring, and then he still kept the show going. So it's going to take a lot for him to cancel that. I'm excited. I mean, it was weird, but I'll give them credit for at least trying to put on a show. I'm more of an AEW and New Japan mark right now.
When is WrestleMania? Isn't it in the summertime?
This is this coming month.
Oh, is it? Yeah,
it's next month.
That's probably not going to happen. Anyways, let's talk about things that is going to happen. All right, so here's the releases for this week, coming out March 18th, but you can find it on our sponsor's website, instocktrades.com. Tomorrow, 12 noon Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Are you ready to go? Jess, you got the details up and ready? All right. Ooh. Let's make this happen, everybody. All right, so let's start off with Image Comics. This week is coming out with Chrononauts by Mr. Mark Miller, Volume 2.
I need to read that. I enjoyed Volume 1.
And then we have Nomen Omen, trade paperback Volume 1. Oblivion Song by the show's favorite, Mr. Robert Kirkman. Pretty Deadly, Volume 3.
I'm getting that.
And Trees, Volume 3 from Warren Ellis and Jason Howard.
I'm also getting that.
I need to check out I haven't read any of that yet. I need to check it out for sure. Dark Horse Comics this week. We have The Art of Cuphead. And there's also a limited edition version as well.
I might get that. I loved Cuphead.
Oh, it was too hard, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a pain in the ass.
And then we have Jai and the Ninen Monster trade paperback, as well as Last Stop on the Red Line and Mob Psycho 100 trade paperback Volume 4. And a return of No One Left to Fight, but this week it's the hardcover version. All right, and then down to DC Comics, we have Batman Alfred Pennyworth trade paperback.
That is 50% off.
That's a gathering of a bunch of, I'm assuming, top hits of Mr. Alfred. Batman Universe hardcover. This is the Brian Michael Bendis, Nick Darrington series. This is the ones that were first originally released in Walmart.
Oh, this is also 50% off.
Sweet. I think I'm going to check that out. I always wanted Bendis to write Batman, so I want to see how that works now. Speaking of Bendis, we got Superman trade paperback Volume 2 and Wonder Woman, The Golden Age Omnibus Volume 4.
That is also 50% off.
Marvel Comics this week, we have Black Panther Agents of Wakanda Volume 1. We got the Captain America Blood Glory Epic Collection. And the Winter Soldier hardcover as well. Conan the Barbarian trade paperback Volume 2. And Immortal Hulk Volume 6. Wow. That thing has just been chugging along. That thing is unstoppable right now. And King Conan trade paperback. We're also getting the Marvel's 25th anniversary hardcover. And the Marvel Masterworks Dazzler Volume 1 hardcover. Both the regular and the DM cover.
And those are both 50% off.
Star Wars trade paperback Volume 13, Rogues and Rebels. Taskmaster, Right Price. Is that that one series? I don't know. The Udon series. I'm not sure that's the one I read that I really liked.
Taskmaster is so hot right now because the movie's coming out.
Oh, it's a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Are we sure that movie's coming out?
As of right now, that's probably going to get delayed.
Yeah, as of right now, that's still good to go. And something awesome and incredible, we got the Onslaught trade paperback as well. And X-Men Milestones Messiah Complex. So this is one of those harder to find oversized hardcovers, right? Messiah Complex?
I think it is. Yeah, I think I remember that being out of print for a while.
All right, Boom Studios going down. We got Garfield and Lumberjanes to the Max Edition, Volume 6. Wow, I didn't know that was still going on.
That is such a fun series, though. It's a really fun, lighthearted series. If you got kids, man, that's a good series to introduce them to.
Yeah, it's just it's like a summer camp situation.
I think Baltimore was released last week, wasn't it? Or is it next week?
What was Baltimore?
Or Baltimore the Omnibus, Volume 2?
I don't know about Volume 2. I know Volume 1 reprint came out, or at least I got it at the store last week.
Baltimore Volume 1 got a reprint?
I think so. We got a bunch of copies in.
I didn't know that.
Uh-oh. Jess, order it now.
No, I don't need it, but that's interesting for a lot of people.
I'll look it up after this and see what's going on.
Okay. Maybe Baltimore Volume 2 is next week.
That's what Rick Nelson says.
Oh, okay.
All right, and then down here we got comics and graphic novels. We don't have Geo on to kind of give us a skinny on all the manga and whatnot, but
actually, Geo just messaged us saying, "Let me in, fam."
Yep, let him in. He came in at the right moment where we could trade Geo for Jess.
Yeah,
I've been waiting for a while.
Hi, Geo.
I'm so sorry. It appears below everything else when there's a fifth person or a fifth screen.
It's okay. Don't worry.
Sorry, dude.
I was waiting for the Daredevil thing to end, and then I realized you're on preview. I'm like, oh crap, and I jumped on board.
Right here, you can take my spot. I'll be back.
All righty, no problem.
All right,
what are we doing?
Do you think manga? Do you think Geo?
Now it's the Hispanic show. Bye, Jess.
Yeah. You mentioned Mob Psycho earlier. That's a manga. I'm pretty excited about that.
Yep. Is that good?
Oh, it's great. I don't. I'm gonna sound elitist, but I prefer the anime over the manga. But it's still the original source material, so I do like it. Right. But if you want to watch Mob Psycho instead of reading it, I wholeheartedly recommend it. It's fantastic.
Cool.
Yeah.
So is that's written left to right, so Jess can enjoy it?
No, it's right to left.
Oh, is it? Okay. Then too bad, Jess.
Yeah. Hey, Ajin's coming out in Volume 14. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it has its fan base because the series aired on Netflix, if I remember correctly. Bloodshot, nobody cares. Bungo Stray Dogs, Volume 14.
Vin Diesel cares, goddammit.
I mean, I had high hopes for that movie, and he just crushed it in the worst possible ways. Bungo Stray Dogs is pretty fun. Card Captor Sakura Clear Card graphic novel, Volume 6. I don't know if those are the big editions or not. Kairos Ring. Don't know what that is. Or Cairo. Cocoon Entwined. I think I've heard about it, but I don't really know what that series is about. Looks very shoujo. Complete works of Fante Bukowski.
I have no clue who that is.
First time I'm saying that. Cowboy hardcover. I feel this is something Omar would get. I don't know.
Wait, I think I know what that is. That's a fun series if it is what I think it is. It's a fun all ages book.
Oh, cool. Creature Girls Hands-on Field Journal. Not interested, but I would read it if it were free.
You know, it is Omar's birthday if anybody wants to send him anything.
Yeah. Fire Force, which is fantastic. One of the best ongoing shonen battle manga, in my opinion.
It's so much fun. It's so good.
Mm-hmm. What else we got? Fox and Little Tanuki. No idea what that is. Sorry. Hatsuharu Volume 11. I am not okay with this. Netflix edition. Okay. I'm Standing on a Million Lives. That's getting an anime next, I think, in the summer. Around that area. Around that time, I should say. Journey Under the Arctic. Nope. Haven't heard of that. Kevin Eastman, Totally Twisted Tales, Volume 1, trade paperback. And the alternate cover. Cool.
2 really awesome biscuit covers.
Kingdom, Alpha and Omega. Kiniro Mosaic. Huh. Konosuba. I do know Konosuba. That's one of my favorite isekai. Konosuba, Volume 10. I do know Konosuba. Yep. There's some feedback. Late Bag Camp, Volume 8. If you want good, wholesome fun, get Late Bag Camp. It's just girls that want to camp out and you just have a good time. Oh, sorry, David. I just saw that comment. I'm sorry. About Bloodshot. Machimaho made Wrong Person Magical Girl. That's a fun series. It's the basic premise is that this girl gets they're selecting a new magical girl to like defend the world or something, and they make a mistake and they pick a street gang chick girl. So she's not the stereotypical candidate to be a magical girl like Sailor Moon and stuff like that. That's pretty funny. Ladybug, nope, no Ladybug. Money Shot, which I heard good things about, but I haven't checked it out. More Far Out Fairy Tales Full Color Edition. Yeah. Mushoku Tensei Roxy Gets Serious. Looks kind of trashy. Not Drunk Enough. Parallel Paradise, which looks very fan servicey.
Yep.
Pokemon Detective Pikachu, the graphic novel adaptation of the movie. Rise Zephyr Book 3. That's a lot of books and not many manga. What's happening? Saint Young Men hardcover volume 2. I know a lot of people got volume 1. They're pretty excited about that series. Science Comics Crows Genius Birds hardcover. I do want to check out Skeleton Knight in Another World. That's a funny isekai title.
This is a cool looking. I love this cover. I'm gonna just check.
Yeah. The protagonist gets reborn into a new world as a skeleton knight, and he's tasked to defend or the princess or the queen or something like that.
That's just cool artwork for sure.
Yeah. Smoking Parade, which is similar. It's like the manga version of Repo Men or something like that. So I'm a Spider, So What? Volume 7. That's also getting a show soon, so I want to check that out. Something Wrong with Us. Oh, there's something I already have pre-ordered. That time I got reincarnated as a slime, Volume 12. Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. That's pretty fun. Tri-Edge X. Do not recommend. That's pure fan service stuff.
Looks
Not
like it.
that great. Yep. Viewpoint. Image coming soon. Witch Hat Atelier Volume 5. That's pretty wholesome. World's End Harem. I thought it was mostly fan service, but somebody told me it was funny. It's more comedic. So I don't know.
Could have fooled me by that cover. That cover was pure just fan service.
Yeah. And Youth Romantic Comedy Wrong Expected Volume 13. More comedy series this time around, this week.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Jess, let's go through the 50% off books again one more time for everybody.
Okay, 3 DC books. That is Batman Alfred Pennyworth, Batman Universe hardcover, and the Wonder Woman Golden Age Omnibus Volume 4, and then the 2 Dazzler Marvel Masterworks.
Nice.
Dazzler.
What's everybody picking up?
Dazzler.
Seriously?
I don't know. I'm thinking about it.
I'm happy for you, Jess.
Oh, that
Get what makes you happy right now.
I don't own any version of Marvels. I kind of want that one. Yeah.
You need at least one version of Marvels in your collection.
Yeah. I've read the story, but I don't own any physical editions.
I've never read it.
Oh, this is Mark Grunwald, Captain America.
Somebody's asking, do we know anything about the Alfred Pennyworth trade?
Mm-mm.
Just Alfred's greatest hits.
Yeah, it's a compilation of different issues.
Oh.
From like his first appearance, early stuff in Detective Comics. It does not have the bigger story that recently came out of Alfred that happened during Tom King's run. So, but yeah, just a bunch of, if you're a fan of just getting a bunch of cool stories about one certain character, this is the kind of stuff for you. Great cover by Alex Ross, by the way.
Yeah, that cover is great.
All right, and that is that, everybody. A couple questions in the chat I think might be good for you, Gio. Somebody's asking, where was this? Is Assassination Classroom and One Punch Man, are the mangas as good as the anime?
Well, sorry. What was the first title?
Assassination Classroom.
Ass Class. I haven't.
Ass Class.
I haven't read it. I only know the premise. Sorry.
That's a different type of movie.
Yeah. No, that's what we like to joke that, Assassination Classroom, Ass Class.
Ass Class.
Yeah.
I read the first 2 volumes of it. It's fun. I heard it ends okay.
Yeah, you made a video on it, right?
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Yeah, I read the first, I think, 2-3 volumes. I dropped it after that, but I'd always meant to come back to it when it's finished.
Ass in class.
If you're not sure about it, man, just get the Shonen Jump app. For like $2, you get the entire series.
Didn't they just drop a bunch of like free manga out there because of everybody being like self-isolated right now?
Something like that, yeah.
I don't know what titles they were, but it was like 450, and I was like, that's pretty cool. It'd be great if Marvel did that for the Marvel app.
The One Punch Man manga, read that, because you will love, if you watch the first season, you love it, and then season 2, not a lot of people like it, so I do recommend the manga.
Yeah, the animation took a dive in the second season.
Yeah, because they changed the animation studios.
Mm-hmm.
First one was Madhouse, and then season 2 was that's the same guys that crap. They do Konosuba. I forgot their name. But they're known more for dramas and slice of lives, which they don't require a lot of movement compared to action series. So, yeah, it really took a hit. But the manga looks great. I love the art on the manga.
Now, Gio, I'm a steelbook sucker, and I saw what you posted. I gotta have it.
I mean, even I'm considering it.
Jess, they're releasing a Cowboy Bebop Blu-ray set, and it's a steelbook.
Ooh.
And look at the Blu-ray disc. They look like records.
Oh, that is so cool. I wanted the Cowboy Bebop vinyl, but it's too expensive.
Oh god, I might pony. It's $40. I might pony up for this.
All right, so Baltimore Omnibus Volume 2 is set for the 25th of March. And it looks like it's shipping sold out. I mean, that's just the current status. It might change by the time it ships out, but as of right now, it shows that it's sold out through Diamond. And Volume 1 is back in print. That's
great.
You can order that all you want.
That is really great. Well, this is a good time for me to talk about InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts add 2% to that. There's always an Omnibroslive discount code every quarter. IST is kind enough to give us a gift card for $50 to give away at the end of every month. Mm-hmm. $50 or more in an order, that gets you free shipping in the United States with InStock Trades. Fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com.
And for those asking in the chat, looks like JMS Amazing Spider-Man Omnibus is going to be April 1st. So I think that got pushed back a week.
Yeah.
Oh, it did.
And
Okay.
for anybody that cares, I made a mistake. It's not Studio Dean. It's JC Staff. They're the ones doing season 2 of One Punch Man.
Is it getting a season 3? Have they announced it yet?
Not yet.
Okay. I hope it goes back to Madhouse.
Yep.
She
Your
does.
doggo agrees. Yeah.
She gets it.
No, she got mad at me just now because I was scratching her and I stopped.
So, Gio, where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me on A Week in Geekdom talking about anime, comics, manga, all that fun stuff. Subscribe if you can.
Quarantine Guide 101. You've got some time on your hands now.
Yeah, a lot of time apparently. You can find me fighting it out over toilet paper in Walmart on East Colonial this tomorrow morning, around 7 a.m. You can also find me at Comics Guide 101 on Twitter and YouTube.
Matrix Gabe, where will you be making an appearance?
I'm here every Sunday and Monday on the OmniBros show. You can find me in the Omnibus Collectors Facebook group as well, and Matrix Gabe on Instagram.
And you can find me, Omnidog, on Omnidog's Vault on YouTube and on Omnidogs_Vault on Instagram. So, to the chat, thank you very much. You were great tonight. A lot of interesting comments. To all of you watching afterwards, thank you for watching. Thank you, as usual, to InStockTrades.com. Thank you to my co-hosts. And peace and love, peace and love. Please hit the like and subscribe button and leave a comment. Peace and love to you all.